I'm Saranya, and I'm going to be teaching you guys Python Advanced Lesson 2 today. So what we're going to do today is do a very quick review of Lesson 1 and go into libraries. And then we're going to explore one of these libraries, Turtle, a little bit more. In order to do this, you guys will need a Trinket account. So go to trinket.io and create an account. Our motivational quote of the day is "Failure is success in progress" by Albert Einstein. So we will do a very quick review of Lesson 1. Just 4 questions. If you guys would like to answer these for yourselves, you can pause the video. I will be going over the answers in 3, 2, 1. What does print do? The print statement in Python, it displays text to the user. What is the difference between a for loop and a while loop? A for loop repeats for a specific number of iterations, while a while loop repeats as long as a condition is true. What is a function and why are functions useful? A function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. It makes your code more organized. What are 3 common data structures? 3 common data structures are lists, tuples, and sets. Dictionaries are also a type of data structure that's very common. But lists, tuples, and sets are slightly more common and widely used. All right, let's get into today's topic, libraries. So first of all, what are libraries? Libraries are groups of functions that someone else coded. And with libraries, you can use that other code without having to write it yourself. So they're really useful. Default functions include print hello world, like for example, right? Print statements are default functions. They are functions that someone else coded that you are using for free, essentially. Some libraries come built into Python, such as time, math, random, and turtle, right? And these inbuilt libraries, all you have to do is write that import statement at the top. You don't need to actually go get code from somewhere else. You just write your import statement at the top, and Python will activate that part of its code, kind of. All right, so for our first module, library, math. Math provides different mathematical functions and constants that we can use. Important constants include math.py, math.e, math.tau, and math.infinity. Some important functions are math.pow x, y, which returns x to the power of y, math.sqrt, which returns the square root of x, math.ceil, which returns the ceiling of x, aka x rounded up, and math.floorx, which returns x rounded down. Time. Time can be used to interact with the system clock. Important functions from time include time.time, which returns the number of seconds that have passed since January 1st, 1970, and time.sleep, sex, which stops the execution of the current thread for the specified number of seconds. So it essentially pauses the program. All right, now for Turtle, which is another library in Python, but its functions are a little bit more hard to get the hang of in a couple slides. So the Turtle library allows you to draw things. It's like a little remote control car that can go where you tell it to and draw a line behind it. And we will learn more about functions that you can use with this Turtle. All right, and if you are coding with Turtle, you want to make sure in Trinket that you go to the Python 3 Pygame. When you create a new Trinket, you want to click Python 3 Pygame and not just Python 3, because if you click just Python 3, that's not going to be able to bring the pop-up window for you to draw with the turtle in. So how do you make a turtle? Right. So first we have to import the turtle library and create a turtle. So the turtle would be that arrow you guys saw on the last slide, this arrow right here. That's your turtle. So you create a turtle by saying my turtle, so the name of your turtle, equals turtle.turtle, and make sure you guys have the capitalization right. So it's lowercase turtle dot uppercase turtle parentheses. And to make the program keep showing, we include turtle.mainLoop at the end of our code. So by keep showing, what I mean is that your pop-up window where turtle is drawing, if you want to be able to see it all the time, you need to have turtle.mainLoop in your code. So that's the line of code that actually keeps the window visible. So a question for you guys. What line of code do we use to import the turtle library? I will be revealing the answer in 3, 2, 1. So the answer for this question is import turtle. Like we saw on the last slide, import turtle is the line of code that we use to import the turtle library. All right, we will, throughout this lesson, develop a turtle city project, which uses the turtle to create a city image. All right, so first import the turtle module and then create a new turtle and set it to the variable city turtle. Here is the solution for that. Import turtle, and then you make your turtle. So in turtle, we have a coordinate plane, which is the way of telling the user where turtle is, right? And you might have seen this in math class, but this is how we determine the position of the turtle. So points are represented x, y, right? The x-axis is a horizontal number line with 0 in the middle, negative numbers to the left, positive numbers to the right. The y-axis is a vertical line with positive numbers on top and negative numbers on the bottom, once again with 0 in the middle. So points are represented x, y, and so the first number in your ordered pair represents to the x-axis position, and the second number represents your y-axis position. So for example, if we had 2, 3, the turtle would be as shown in the diagram right here. It would be at 2 spaces on the x-axis and 3 spaces on the y-axis. On the other hand, if we had our turtle at 3, 2, it would be over here. Zero, 0 is the center of our window, turtle window. Here are some very useful functions for turtle. They specify turtle movement. So we have turtle.forward, which makes the turtle travel in a straight line with X number of spaces, and it doesn't change direction. Name.backward, so your turtle name.backward would send the turtle backwards at a distance of X pixels without once again changing the direction. Name.goto x, y sends the turtle forward in the direction it's facing at a distance of X pixels, and it will leave a line as it's going to that coordinate. And finally, name.speed sends the turtle forward in the direction that it's facing, except it changes the speed of the turtle. So our turtle city project, first we're going to move our turtle, okay? Using the functions that we just learned, make the ground, okay? So that would be 200 pixels wide. And we will start building our city up from there. So here's the answer. This is what your code should look like so far. The one problem with our code currently is that after Turtle finishes the drawing, our window disappears. So we have a specific line of code that we use to keep the turtle drawing on the screen. And it's something like turtle.main, and once you recall it, you should add it. I will be revealing it in 3, 2, 1. The answer is turtle.mainLoop, and this allows your program window to stay open even after the turtle is finished drawing. Some other functions include name.left and name.right, which rotate your turtle to the left and to the right by the specified number of degrees. 360 degrees is a full circle, 180 is half a circle, 90 is a quarter turn. Now let's apply what we learned. Create your first building, okay? If you need paper to visualize it, you guys should use it, and draw a little box on your ground. So here is an example of what your code could look like right now. We would want to turn, after we draw the ground, we would want to turn, start drawing the building. Of course, we'd need to turn before we start drawing. So we turn left 90 degrees, then we go forward 100, turn left 90 again, forward 50, turn left 90 again, forward 100, and finally turn left for the 4th time to finish our building. So some other useful functions with Turtle include name.penup and name.up. And this lifts the pen off the canvas with Turtle, so that way Turtle can move without drawing a line, right? And then to put the pen back down, we would do name.penup, pen down, or name.down. So in this image, the programmer used pen up and pen down. Once to pick up the pen and another time to put it back down. So some additional methods, once again, include name.dot x comma color, which makes a dot slash circle of radius x. Name.color, and then you have your color string, right? This changes your turtle's color, and it must be all lowercase, but not all colors work because whoever coded the turtle library only used a specific amount of colors. They didn't obviously go through every color in the world and put it in string name. Name.goto x comma y, we mentioned this one earlier. This one causes the turtle to travel in a straight line. The reason we're mentioning it here again is because it can also be used to move the turtle without drawing when used with our pen up and pen down functions, which is a slightly different purpose than just your regular goto. And we also have name.beginfill and endfill. You can put these statements before and after you draw a closed shape with your turtle, and that shape will be filled in with color. So over here, we have an example of code, and we are using this to show you guys some of the functions that we just covered. So think about what each line does, and I'm gonna go over what each line of code does. So first we have our import turtle statement, which imports the turtle library. And then we have name equals turtle.turtle, that creates our turtle. We have name.dot20, which creates our little black dot in the center of the screen with radius 20. And then we lift our pen and go forward 50 and set our pen back down. We change our color to red and begin filling. So now what we're doing is we are going to draw a closed shape and eventually fill it in. Right, so we're going to use a for loop to move our turtle forward and move it right 4 times, drawing a square, and finally we'll write end fill. So this will fill our fill our square shape up with color. All right, now let's add the sun. So utilize the functions that we just learned to both position and make the sun in the top right corner. If you guys want a challenge, you can also use the functions that you learned to fill the buildings with color. So here is an example answer. You guys can pause the video and take a look at it. Mostly it just moves the turtle in the desired direction, and we have some pen up and pen down at the very end. All right, now if you guys want, you can take some more time to experiment with the methods that we learned and add more buildings or draw other shapes. Thank you so much for watching.